Hello everyone, Mr. Hyde. Here's the video today that should help you with your work on how to get the graph from a table and determine the tile times info from a graph. So yesterday's assignment was you looked at the tile time, you had to get the equation. Now today we're going to start introducing the graph because part of math is really three things. It's the algebra, the numbers and letters, tables, and graphs. And if you can interchange between those three, about the same topic, then you understand it. Right? So yesterday was the tables and the equation, the algebra and the tables. Today we're introducing a third part, the graphs. So again, pause it if you need to. I already have some of it written down if you want to follow along with me, or you can just watch and follow along and hopefully see if you get it. Now for the first one here, we're going to graph this situation. So this was a tile pattern where figure 0 had 3 tiles, figure 1 had 7 tiles, 2 had 11 tiles, 3 had 15 tiles, and we're going to graph this. And I don't know if everyone still remembers how to graph, so part of this will be talking about how to make a graph. Now, if you have a graph paper like mine, it's nice because you can just write on the lines. But if you don't have graph paper, just make a sketch of it on line paper, and that's okay too. Try to be accurate with your spacing, because that's what graph paper is nice is. The spacing is the same, like 1, 2, 3. It's the same spacing. Without it. On line paper, sometimes you mess up on that. Now, on a graph, this is your x-axis. So that's usually the top row, and that's always spanning left and right. So you're spanning left and right. And y is your y-axis, which is like your vertical distance, which is going up and down. And you always, the middle there is 0, 0. Right? That is what we call the origin of a graph. So if we wanted to do figure 0 at 3 tiles, you'd be at the x is 0, so we stay at 0, and then the y is 3, so we're going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3. That right there is 0, 3. Okay. The next one, 1, 7, means x is 1, so we're going to go right 1. And then we're going to go up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's 1, 7. Next one, 2, 11. So over 2. And then you go up 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ooh, mine's going to overlap. I hope yours is nicer. 3, 15 be 3. That's 11. So I'm going to continue from there. 12, 13, 14, 15. And that right there is actually the graph. I mean, the graph is just dots. Because if you were to put a point right there, what's that, like figure 1/2? We don't have a figure 1/2. We have figure 0, we have figure 1, figure 2, figure 3. There's technically no dots in the middle here. So that's really what the graph should look like. But most graphs outside of tile patterns are connected. Right? And there's names for that, but we're not going to get into it in this video. So what I want you to say is from the graph, where's figure 0? Or I'm going to start calling it the start, parentheses, and also where's the growth. It's important you start to see these two things. So figure 0 was, if I use my highlighter, 3. So where was 3 at on this graph? Where 3 was this point right here. So that point is figure 0, or the start. And then where's the growth? So we might say, where's figure 0? Well, it's when x equals 0. That's where figure 0 is. So that's at the point 0, 3. There is a name for it in math. We call it the y-intercept. And that's because this is the point that crosses the y value. Intercept, like think football interception. You cross through, like you make a connection. So y-intercept is you make a connection with the y-axis at that point. Now, where's the growth? So if you look at this table, it was growing up by 4 tiles every 1. Right? From 7 to 11, it went up 4 every 1. 11 to 15, up 4 every 1. Where's that in the graph? Well, notice from 3, we went up to 7. So notice that we were going up by 4 over 1 to get to the next point. How do you get the next point after that? We went up 4 over 1. Ooh, this is getting messy. I don't know if you see this. But to get the next point, you go up 4 over 1. So where's the growth? We call that the steepness, how steep it is. Or the word we really use for it is it's called the slope. Right? In this case, it was going up 4, right 1. That was the growth in this problem. Okay. So that's how you might get a graph from a table. You plot points, you make sense of it. Now the second example here is given these graphs, what's figure 0, what's the growth rate, what's the equation? So remember, figure 0 is when x equals 0. And you look at the, you actually look at the y-intercept. So here's the y-axis. This is when x is equal to 0. So at 0, where are we at? We're right here, which is 1 above. So in this case, figure 0 is 1. What's the growth rate? Well, this is again where we have to kind of look at the steepness. How steep is this line? Well, the growth rate here is to get from this point to its next point, we had to go up by 2 over 1. And notice that's the same pattern, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So the growth rate here is 2 plus 2 tiles, because remember that this represents tiles, for every one figure number. Or if you just want to use numbers, it could just be 2 over 1, which, what is 2 divided by 1? You could technically just put 2, right? So it's growing by 2 tiles every time. And that's that one. And now what's the equation? Now remember, the equation is you need these two things. So it starts at 1, so it'd be 1, and it's growing by 2, so it's going to be plus 2x. And that's the equation. Or you could flip-flop it and write 2x plus 1, because when adding, order doesn't matter. So that's fine too. Either answer works for me for that first one. Now we'll look at this bottom one, make sense of it. Figure 0, where's figure 0 at? So here's x equals 0. At 0, the y-axis, we are right here, which is at 2. So figure 0 is 2. Positive 2 at that because we're going up. What's the growth? If we look from one point to another, you could say it's going up 1, 2, 3, right 1. So it's going up 3 every 1. If we were going to look back here, it doesn't matter how you look, but you always read left to right. So make sure you know that. You always read left to right. But if we pick these 2 points, notice that's the same thing. Up 1, 2, 3, right 1. So the growth rate here is 3 over 1. Right. It's going up 3, right 1, which is the same thing as 3 over 1, which is correct, but 3 divided by 1 is 3, so you could just write 3 there. And then what's the final equation? If you put that together, you get y is equal to its starting value 2 plus 3x, because it's going up by 3 every time. Or again, you could put 3x plus 2, because order doesn't matter. And that's how to get the equation from a graph. Okay? You still need figure 0, you still need the growth, the two things, the start value, how it's changing. Okay? Hope that helps. Good luck on your assignment. Stop by office hours or ask me questions if you need it. Okay, bye-bye.